this is Russ. Yeah, I'm back out on the road again. Hey, guess what I'm riding? Yep, it's the Magicycle Cruiser. Haven't been on this bike in a long time. Yeah, we've been trying to lower the batteries on the other bikes. So now this is the final one that needs battery lowering. But rather than just lowering the battery, I thought I'd take it out for one last long ride today. Now, the problem with it today, though, is it's pretty windy. I don't know what the temperature is right now. Maybe 68, 69 maybe? I don't know. It's good riding weather, but man, the wind is really, really high. So it's pushing me sideways and everything. And as you know, I don't like being pushed sideways. So I thought what I was gonna do today was take a ride all the way down to Morton Grove and Skokie area. Now this is really where the North Branch Trail starts up for me when I usually take that to go to the Botanic Gardens. But I don't plan to go to the Botanic Garden today. I figure I'd just ride a little bit around the Morton Grove and Skokie area just for kicks. Take you guys along with me. So I have two batteries on the Magicycle Cruiser, as you know. I have the standard battery, which I believe is, 15 amp hours, 20, and the other one's a 20 amp hour battery. So I have a total of 35 amp hours with me. Both batteries are charged to the full. These are 52 volt batteries, of course. So this should this should last me a while. I should be able to make it there and back. So I'm going to do a little bit of both things. I'm going to pedal some, I'm going to throttle some. And as you know, as we head towards that general area, as we had in the past, typically we have some major streets we have to ride on. That's where when we're going to definitely be throttling, and we're going to be throttling hard at that point, just to compete with the cars. Now, for those who are new and don't know what I mean when I say competing with the cars, is that if cars are going 45 miles an hour and you're doing 12, you're not competing with the cars, all right? They're not going to be too happy with you too, because you're just going to be in their way. So I figured the best thing to do is ride as fast as I can while I'm on there. Now, I hear squeaking. What do I hear squeaking? When I hear squeaking, I get a little nervous about that. Could be our brakes. Yeah, I think it could be our brakes. May not be perfectly lined up or something. Stop for now. So I typically will ride fairly hard on those streets. Not so hard on side streets. Yeah, I hear squeaking. Now, last time that happened, I did fix it by adjusting the brakes so that it didn't touch as much. Sadly, because I took two batteries, I didn't bring my tools with me. You hear it squeaking? Yeah, that's not good. You hear it? That's not good at all. All right, what do? We can't go that far out and not fix this. I think we got to turn back. We got to turn back and fix this thing before we can go further. All right, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna get this thing fixed. Go back, get it fixed, and then head back out again. These are problems of not having your tools with you. Let me take a look at this. The thing is, I haven't ridden this bike in a while. So I don't know what's going on with it. Let's turn around. I mean, the thing is, it's not really a big deal, quite frankly. It's just a squeal. It's not something that's mechanically going to be bad for me. Should I go back? Should I keep going? Let's keep going. I don't feel like going back. I'm too far forward. Too far forward to fix it. I think what I'll do is if I hear it every now and then, I'll hit the brakes every now and then, see if it'll just clear itself in time. I think what's happening is the brake pads are slightly touching the rotor, enough to give it the slight squeal. So if you hear it, you know why. We're going to keep moving. I've yet to figure out how to deal with bringing my tools with me when I have two batteries. Usually I have the tools in a tool bag on the back of the rack, but the battery's on the back of the rack, so I can't put the tool bag there. I think what I need to do is I need to make a small little thing. I could put tools in the side of the battery bag. I have the Magicycle battery bag that's holding the second battery. And I do have my air pump in there. I just forgot to put the hex drivers and everything in there. You need at least that. And you need a tire patch kit at least. I didn't bring that either. So yeah, not too prepared today. That's bad. We didn't make the light, so we'll have to wait. So this is pretty much the same place that we always go, right? This is the same direction, but we just keep going further on this one. Take a little drink of water here. So this weekend may very well be the last good weekend we have. We've had decent weather, 70 degree to mid 70 weather. Now I didn't go out yesterday after church. I was planning to go out, but then family decided to do a last minute barbecue. So we went over to my brother-in-law's house and they had a barbecue instead. That's fine. I said, that's fine. We don't do a 6-day-a-week run anymore on these videos. So I already had 2 other videos already pre-recorded. So my hope is this, and don't hold me to it. I'm trying to do at least 3 videos a week during the winter months and autumn months. And because of that, I think the best days to release them would be Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Now, if I miss one of those days, so be it. But I think if you're going to look for a Russ's Right video, and you don't want to hit the little bell icon, because I know some of you guys don't want to do that, look for them on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. That's when they'll be released. And then when we get back into the spring season, when I could ride a lot more, then we'll move back into the 6 days a week if we're able to do it. So Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Keep your eyes open then. If they're released at all. Those will be the dates that they'll be released. Alright, we'll take a left over here. Here's what I learned to do. Oncoming traffic sometimes don't know whether they should go or they should let you go. So what I've learned to do is just wave them forward. I just give them a little come here type of wave, you know. And that'll tell them that I know that they're there, I know that they're stopping, but hey, you should just keep going. I think that just moves traffic along a little bit better. And quite frankly, they usually have the right of way anyway. It's just that they don't want to move because they don't want to run into you in case you decide not to stop and turn. So yeah, I figure a little hand signal from me will keep them going. And then I don't have to really hop off the bike either then. So today was the first day of leaf pickup. Leaf pickup is when the street cleaning guys come by and they sweep the street of all the leaves. And yeah, we missed it. we didn't have enough leaves to come down to make it worth doing. I know some people did it, but they do it way too early, I think. I mean, take a look at the leaves on the trees here. They're turning colors, but they're not down. So if you do a leaf collection on a day like today, and they only do it twice in the year, why would you do it so early? Now, I do understand that they have a schedule and there's a lot of neighborhoods to deal with, but man, they're always way too early for us. So I'm gonna wait for the next one to happen, and that's when I gotta do it all. Hey, look at this car. What kind of car is that? Anyone know? Okay, he's waiting for me. We were supposed to turn there. I was too busy looking at that car to turn. All right, we'll turn on the next one. Oh, look at this. Look at this house right in front of us right now. Take a look at this. You see that big skeleton thing? Look at that thing. Some people go all out, I tell you. Now, I saw a video on YouTube of some lady trying to steal one of those skeletons. I think they're about $400, they said, at Home Depot. Home Depot? Gee whiz. Somebody tried to steal one, put it in her van, didn't even try to take it apart. She just wanted to stick it in her van. Come on, that thing is so huge. That's not fitting in your van. So she struggled, and of course she's breaking it and everything. And yeah, come on. You're gonna steal stuff. Why are you stealing something like that? But, you know, temptation. People do things. Well, since we're on the topic of all these weird things, let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you a little story here. As you know, I've been cyberbullied for quite a while from various people. Some people call me names. Some people just tell me to stop at stop signs. Others, you know, tell me what I should do and what I'm doing wrong. Yeah, okay. I've learned to kind of knock off most of that stuff and not pay much attention to it. And if they're really nasty, I'll delete them, as you know. So one person was on the senior video. You guys know the senior video. That's where most of you guys came from. And I guess he asked me, why would I get a, at that time, the senior video, I was riding a Rad Rover 5. And he asked me, why would I get a bike like that instead of just taking an existing bike, adding a motor to it, and converting an existing bike to an e-bike. And then he says, oh, I know why. It's because you won't get sponsored that way. Well, hey, when that video came out, I wasn't sponsored by anybody. Nobody was giving me anything. That was only 2 months after I bought that bike. So I knew that if I responded to him, he's going to give some nasty stuff down the road. I know that always that if you can tell, or if you think they're going to be trolls and you respond to them, they'll just kind of continue trolling you. So I did that once before, and yeah, I wanted to test it to see if that would be the case, and of course it was. I said, let's test it one more time. He wasn't totally nasty, but I knew it was going to head that direction. I said, okay, let's see what happens. So I responded to him. I said, well, at the time when this video was made, I didn't have sponsors or anything. I bought this bike. And so I left it at that. So he responded back, of course, and relatively quickly too. He said, okay, well then answer the first question. So his first question was, why didn't you just convert an existing bike? Well, first off, how does he even know I have an existing bike? Maybe I'd have to go out and buy one and then buy a conversion kit on top of it. Why would I want to do that? I said, well, I have no interest in building a bike. So he comes back again and says, well, if you consider that a build, I'm out of here. I'm out of this channel. And then he leaves. So it wasn't really nasty, okay? But he felt that if I thought that putting a motor on an existing bike was considered a bike build, he wasn't going to watch my channel, because obviously I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, let me say this to that person. If he actually gets a chance to see this video, he can't comment on the videos anymore, as you know. Let me address that. Not everyone wants to do even a basic maintenance on a bike, okay? Not everybody wants to do that. All right, okay, this thing's telling me to take Grand Road, which we're not going to do. I'm going to pass it up. Probably take me to Arlington Heights, into Lake Arlington or something if I pass it up. All right, let this guy go first. Go behind him. So, yeah, not everyone wants to do even a basic thing like maintaining their bikes. All right, they'll bring it to a bike shop, or you know, taking a wheel off and then putting a conversions kit onto an existing bike. First off, how do you know I even have a bike? I'd have to maybe buy a bike and then do a conversion kit. If I'm going to do all that, why wouldn't I just go and buy an e-bike? Doesn't make any sense that way either, does it? So, but I actually did have a bike. I do have a mountain bike in the basement. We actually have quite a few non-electric bikes in the basement. And these are bikes we've had over the years. But again, I kind of felt that it wasn't something I wanted to deal with. I wanted to get a true e-bike. And I wanted a fat tire bike. Okay? So the question of why would you not do it? Well, why would I want to do it? Not everybody wants to. So, yeah, he's gone. He says he's never going to come back and watch any more videos. That's okay. I'm fine with that. Those who want to watch will watch. Those who don't want to watch will make comments to make sure they have a reason not to watch. It's okay. All right, so it's telling me to go. I don't know where it's telling me to go here. It's going to take me to different areas. Should we follow what Apple Maps tells me to do? Yeah, probably. Probably different areas we haven't gone through. This is Hersey High School, by the way, to our left. Right there, that's Hersey High School. We're in Arlington Heights again, in case you don't know. So we are on, what road are we on? Can't tell on the map. We'll have to pass a street sign. Oop, told me to turn there. Too late. We're on Thomas Street. Uh-oh. Let's see. Rerouting. Oh, Schoenbeck Road. Okay. It's going to ask me to take Schoenbeck Road in 0.4 miles. I could do that. So yeah, not everyone's going to want to do any type of thing to their bike. They'd rather someone else do it. They'll pay somebody to do it. Now, for me, could I have done that? Yes, I could have done it. But I don't know whether I would have had the same amount of skills I did back then as I do now. I mean, if you think about it, I was pretty good on my bikes up until the point where I couldn't ride a bike anymore. Then I stopped because of my knee. Bad knee, and then eventually had a knee replacement. You know the whole thing. So I hadn't ridden a bike in so long. I knew the basics. I knew what the basic things needed to be done. Could I have done it? Probably, if I worked on it. But I don't think I would have wanted to do it at that point. Today, would I? No. Still, the answer would be no. People have asked me, why don't you want to do this and that to your bike, or this and that to that bike? And, well, I don't really want to. Okay, I understand when other people want to build their own bikes, and many of you guys do it, and I give you credit for being able to do it. But you know, too, not everyone's cut out to do it. If everyone's cut out to do it, you know, bike companies wouldn't wouldn't be selling these bikes. Everyone would be just modifying existing bikes. But not everyone wants to do it. It's okay. It's okay. Maybe you want to, but other people don't, right? It's okay. That's what makes the world interesting. And that's what makes custom bike builders in business. Because some can't or don't want to do it, they're willing to pay someone else to do it for them. Okay? I'm not like that. If I'm able to do something and I have the time to do it, I probably would do it. But that was something at that time I had no interest in doing. Even today, I don't really have an interest in doing. The thing is, I have a number of bikes that manufacturers have given me. Why would I want to build another one? I mean, think about it logically. Why would I want to? I'd rather see what other manufacturers have already done, get their bikes, review them, and ride them. That to me is a little more interesting than having to build my own at this point. Okay. Now, if nobody ever gave me other bikes, would I do it? I might. If it saved me money, I might do it. But at this point, based on what's happening with my channel and what I'm doing now, would I want to do it? And the answer would be no. I don't have a desire to do that. Okay. Let's move this thing out of the way here. Oops. These things always open up. Why does it always do that? It's like you can never do what you wanted to do. Especially when you're riding. You shouldn't be messing with your bike. with your phone. Alright. Where we are now, we're really right next to the what do you call this? Prospect Heights Trail. We could take the Prospect Heights Trail and then head over there. Should we do it? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. We're here already. Why not? Uh-oh. What's it say here? Repair September 23rd through end of month. Okay, they've restriped that thing. Let's not do it. This whole trail, you see that yellow striping on the road? That's all new, and it looks like they've actually fixed some of the trail. I remember saying before, they need to fix this trail. It's so beat up. Hey, maybe they're fixing the whole thing, or at least parts of it. So we're not gonna do that either. Man, this trip is turning into something else, huh? Yeah, wanted to do it, can't do it. It's okay, no problem. We have alternative routes. Now, if I was just trying to drain the battery, I'm pretty much drained at this point. I would switch batteries and just ride the other battery home. But no, let's go some distance. This may be our final trip of the year where we can go a little bit of a distance. Let's try it. So what we'll do is we're gonna lower this battery till it has no more power, and then we'll switch it to the other battery and ride that one home. Now, remember what I said is I typically ride my least powerful battery first, because that way I know with the longer running battery I can make it back home, right? I'm not saying least powerful. What did I say? Did I say that? The one that has the least range, I ride that first, and then I ride the other one that has more range second. So the 15 amp hour battery is on the bike right now, and then we'll put on the 20. This way you guarantee you have enough juice to get home. That's my logic behind it. Okay, so one that you might want to consider adopting yourself if you have two batteries. Now, the battery that's in the back is sitting in the Magicycle fireproof bag that they gave me. And the battery itself is on top of some packing foam, like the battery's packing foam. That's what is absorbing additional impact to the battery on the rack. I figured that's probably one way to kind of protect it a little bit. Okay, it's telling me to take hints. That's not the greatest one to take either, quite frankly, because I know it gets a little bit more. It gets a little bit more traffic further down, like here. All right, the only thing that's good about this, it is a 2-lane road, so traffic could move to the other lane to pass me. But I'm going to tell you, I was once on Hintz Road. It was on the other side coming back. I was riding right here, and a guy did not give me any space. He literally came probably within like 5 feet of me. You're supposed to give a bike rider at least 10 feet of space. You had a second lane. Why not move over to the second lane? Nope, didn't do it. Those are the guys that'll clip you. You got to be careful of those guys. This is why you want to always have mirrors so you can see what's coming up. All right. Could I have avoided him? No, because the only other thing was hit up on top of on the curb. I can't jump a curb. So yeah, that was not good. So some roads are not the greatest roads to be on. This is one of them, but this is still better than some others. All right, where are we here? Okay, this is Elmhurst Road up ahead. Well, we'll keep going. We'll just take it. Kids are walking around. Shouldn't they be in school? What time is it? Oh, it's like noon. Could be their lunch hours. Some of the schools have open campus where during your lunch hour you can get out of school, head out, go to outside place, go get some lunch, come back. We used to do that. A friend of mine's had a car when we were in high school. He bought himself a car and he would take us to McDonald's and wherever else was available. So we had open campus too. Other schools, no open campus, meaning during your lunch period, you're not allowed to just get off of the campus and go wherever you want. You have to stay in the building. But back then, they didn't worry that much about the kids. Nowadays, they do worry about a lot more. So I'm surprised that they still have an open campus for some schools. So yeah, this is something that we haven't done before. We haven't done this street before. We have, but it was like last year. We haven't done it this year. I don't hear it squeak anymore either. I think it moved itself out of the squeaking. Yeah, it could be too that. Well, obviously the brake pads are touching the rotors. That's why it squeaks. But you know, we haven't ridden this bike in so long. It's been sitting out in the garage. It could be rusting for all you know. I don't know what it is. But so when it actually touches, you hear the squeal. That's a possibility. Oh, let me talk about the saddle that's on this bike. I still have the Giddy Up extra large saddle with the LED lights on it. Yeah, it's a funny looking saddle, I will say that. I told the company that too. I told the representative. I said it's comically large. Didn't seem to bother her. She says you can say whatever you want about it. The thing is they know that the saddle is very comfortable. So you can laugh at it all you want, but it sure feels good. So yeah, it's on the Cruiser. I think it's going to stay on the Cruiser. Now, the funny part about it is it's got these two large wings on either side. They're not really supported. The support is still basically in the middle, just like most other saddles would be. But but it's kind of there. It kind of gives you a feel like there's like there's some padding next to you on either side of your butt cheek. Well, like I said, it's not really supporting anything. It's just you kind of feel like you're floating around on it. Quite frankly, you know, if you lean to one side or the other side, it doesn't support, but you could feel it there. It feels kind of funny, but I kind of like it. So yeah, that saddle will probably stay on this cruiser. Alright, tells me to turn here on Shattuck Drive. Let's turn here on Shattuck Drive. It says no outlets. Oh, maybe over there, no outlet. I don't know. Well, we keep going. Wherever they tell us. I have not taken this road down here before. So now you guys remember too, I have a 52T chain ring on this. Oh, this is Shure Brothers. I didn't know that. Right off to the left here. See, it says Shure. I don't know if you can see that. That's the company that makes the microphones and everything. That's the microphone that I'm using right now. I didn't know that they moved over here, or at least one part of them is over here. All the things you learn when you ride. Now the wind is pretty heavy right now. I cannot hear a single word I'm saying. And the wind blowing up against you, it just howls in your ears. You don't hear anything. You just hear wind noise. Now I imagine you hear a little bit of wind noise, but not as bad as some other wind noise that you hear on some other YouTube channels. Alright, we gotta take a left here. Let's take the left here. This is all industrial. This whole area is industrial. Alright, it's gonna tell us to take Wolf Road. Well, that's not a great road for me to take either. Oh well, we're already here. We're taking it. There's a tree over here that's broken. It's probably the high winds, old trees. It's just gonna crack them. Yeah, it's a very windy day, but it's not that cold. I have on my long sleeves, the UV rated sleeves, the shirt that my daughter and son-in-law gave me. I don't have any other shirt on underneath that. And then I have just the vest on right now. Okay, let's see. So we've got to take a right on here, along with all these cars coming down here fast. I'm gonna let this guy go first. It looks like they're gonna go, and they're gonna go. That's the fire department for Elgin, it says. What is he doing way out here? So off to the let that go by first. Off to the left, this is Milwaukee Airport. So there's a small airport that's here, and they service probably a lot of the executives that work in this area, in these industrial park areas, plus whoever else wants to fly into the area. So now here, this is why I don't really like this particular road. It's just really, at that one area, one lane. So they can't really move over, and they don't want to give you any space, so they're going to jam you right into the curb. The wind is very high right now. Based on this high wind, it's going to really eat into our mileage. I can feel the pushing. I don't know if we'll be able to go all the way where we want to go. We'll go as far as we can. We'll go as far as we can. Yeah, so this guy in front of us did not give me much room, but he couldn't really either, because there was oncoming traffic coming, so he really couldn't do it. What he really should have done was just stayed behind me until he had space to move around me. No, cram me over anyway. That's how some of them do it. So yeah, it's really windy. It's really windy. Now this has a little bit of a shoulder here I can be on. But I know too that the wind is really killing our mileage because it's really pushing me hard. We're doing about 21 miles an hour. Eventually you run out of the lane, so you have to come into the lane. I have a truck behind me, so he's gonna have to deal with it because I don't have any more lane to go. This is what I mean by competing with the traffic. Because if you're going slow and you're forced to be in their lane, they're not going to like it. I'm not going really fast. There's a 40-mile-an-hour lane, but I'm doing about 25 miles an hour, but I really can't do any more than that. I'm sure the truck behind me is not too happy. But what am I supposed to do? I could go up on that sidewalk, but then you run out of sidewalk. And this is the reason when people ask me why I don't take certain roads or whatever, this would be one of the reasons. Okay, now the truck can finally pass me. He needed that clearance to pass. If he has oncoming traffic, you don't have any lane, he knows you can't do anything, he's stuck. Now there's other cars behind me now too, and they're stuck at this point now. Alright, so now I can try to move over a little bit, but eventually, yeah, you see, I run out of it. I have to come back into their lane. There's no other option. Yeah, it's tough, man, I tell you. It's tough getting around. I'm just surprised that the map has taken me this direction. Typically it should take me in another direction that we've always gone before, but hey, we're trying different things. It's the final ride, why not? Let's try it. You only get killed once. Let's hope we don't have that happen today. Alright, look how bad this road is. That's a big dip in there. It's like a tire went into it or something. Alright, we're gonna get off of this. We'll go back onto the trail. This was part of the Prospect Heights Trail. Let's get off the road at least. Alright, I'm beginning to have my doubts whether we can make it all the way there as planned. With all these other things going on, I don't think so. The wind is high. If the wind wasn't so high, maybe. But I think it's too high for us. Safety-wise, it's best probably not to do it. Alright, Yeah, I still hear it squeak. I think we'll go up ahead and we'll pull off and take a break here. Well, yeah, I think it's going to be too far. Too far for conditions. Let's get off the bike. Let me show you what the bike looks like right now. Move off to the side here. Yeah, this is what the bike looks like right now. So you see I have the battery strapped to the rear rack inside the bag, and I have the air pump in there too. Let's get some water here. Yep. So we have the blinking lights. I like having a blinking light. Hydraulic brakes are on here. The Giddy Up saddle. The Giddy Up saddle has the blinking lights too. Now I have another blinking light that's, I must have left it on the other bike. This makes it easy to deal with. This one is the rechargeable one. This extra large version. So you can recharge it with I think it's a USB mini, mini USB, whatever they call it. Plugs into this thing and charges this up. Yeah, it's pretty easy. You just take the saddle off by undoing the quick release, right? Do your quick release, take the saddle off, and then plug it in and charge it. Okay, I think what I'll do, I'm going to reprogram this map. And let me see here. Okay. I reprogrammed it to get it back home, but I had to tell Apple Maps that I'm riding a bike. Because if you don't tell it it's riding a bike, it's going to pick routes that you probably don't want to be on. So I know I can take the trail, but the question is how far can I take the trail before we run into all the construction, the new construction on the trail? Well, we're going to find out. So we're going to head down this direction. If it kicks me off of it and I have to go on another road, then so be it. But let's go as far as we can on the Prospect Heights Trail to see what they've done to it. I have a feeling they didn't fix all of it. I mean, it's too long. What is it, like 3 miles or something like that? They're not going to do 3 miles of a bike trail and fix all of that. It's going to be bits and pieces of it was fixed, I'm sure. But many have said that it's overdue because it is kind of bumpy. It probably should have been fixed a long time ago, so maybe they're going to start with that. You know what I should do? I should swap out the battery. Let me swap out the battery. Let's find a good spot to do that. My battery shows 42%, but as we know, percentage doesn't always represent the exact same thing of what really you have left. So many people use the actual voltage rather than the percentages on here. Alright, so we're going to go through it. We'll see what we can do, if we can do it. We'll wait for this to pass through with cars here. We're next to the high tension wires. I can hear it clicking. It sounds like it actually wants to rain. Obviously, you don't want to be under the high tension wires while it rains. But it didn't show any indication that it was going to rain. I think it did rain a little bit over the evening for a very short time. Alright, let's go over here. Let me swap out the battery. I'll get off the path a little bit, so I'm not in anybody's way. So we turn off the battery. And actually, did I bring the key for this? Would have been bad if I didn't bring the key. You wouldn't be able to get the battery off. Alright, so here I have to unwrap this. I know you can't see everything because the angle of the camera probably isn't perfect for you, but pulling out the other battery, sticking back the old battery in the back of the bag. You see here I have some foam underneath it. These are just some packing foam that the batteries came in. Zip it back up. The whole point of these battery bags too, because they're supposedly fireproof. Hopefully if it starts a fire, it doesn't start burning behind you. Hopefully that stops it from burning. The hard part is reaching around sometimes to get these bungee cords underneath and in position so it can wrap properly. You want to make sure these are good. You don't want this popping off or anything. All right. This is the 20 amp hour battery that we have. So we'll pop this one in here. Now there's always a little static pop. Magicycle says, don't worry about it. Let me say this, everybody worries about it. Everybody worries about that pop. Because, yeah, things are charged up. When it makes the connection, it kind of pops. Alright, so now we have full power again. At 100%. We'll ride this home. Well, even with the best plans to go further, wasn't gonna happen today. First off, I think it's too windy to get all the way out there with riding against the wind. And then on top of that, map program is bringing me onto roads that really are not the safest roads for me to go on. So yeah, sometimes you gotta abort. And we're aborting it. We're not doing it. Oh well. We tried. But hey, we did go on some roads that you guys weren't familiar with. At least I gave you some of that. Alright. Heading back though, you're probably familiar with most of this stuff here. But you know, hey, if you're new to the channel, this is all new to you. Right? It's still new to you. If you're a long-time Russ is Right viewer, not so new to you. But as you can see, things have changed. It doesn't look the same as it did before. There are colors now on either side of us. I can smell it decaying. Well, this area always smells. I don't know what the deal is. I always felt like, do these guys like sell fertilizer or something? What's the deal? But it always smells around that area. But look, everything is changed over. You look over to the left, we got different colors and everything. People have said I'm pretty lucky to be on the paths that I am. Yeah, I would say I am. I do have a number of paths that I can go on. Like I said, I'm not always in favor of just doing paths. I like riding the streets too, but I don't like riding streets where I have some potential danger. Thank you. I had to look for the bell. The thing is, you can't remember where the bells are on each bike. Every bike seems to have a different location for it. I don't know what that guy's picking. Some type of crab apples or something? I have no idea. There's a lot of people on the path now. Just walking along, running along. We'll have to hit them with the bell. So I'll let them know you're there. Staying on the left side because they're all on the right side. Thank you. Well, I'm glad that bike rider gave me the right. He had the right of way. Obviously, I was in his lane, but I think he understood why I was in his lane with all the guys running on my lane. So he stayed over on the other side. So I appreciate that. Okay, so what do you think of the path? They obviously have not finished all of this construction here. They didn't do anything here. I think they only did that one area. This is pretty much the same as it always has been. It's bumpy. As I'm talking, you can hear my voice kind of hop up and down as I'm hitting the bumps. And I definitely hear the high tension wires buzzing. So usually when you hear it, it tells you that it might be some rain coming. I think it had anticipated rain for tomorrow. I don't think it anticipated anything today. But you know how the weather is. I think originally it said Wednesday, then it moved to Tuesday. So who knows? Maybe they moved it to Monday. Don't know. Just don't want to be on here when it's raining. That would be bad. I've actually had part of this area flood over. And, it's not really deep. I mean, we're only talking probably an inch or two. But, when I first came down the path, first couple times, I couldn't remember how deep the dips were. I didn't know whether, I think it was in this general area, I didn't know whether that was 2 inches deep, 5 inches deep. I had no idea. Now that I know, if I ever see it again, I would just ride right through it. I've done that before. I've ridden right through the water because I knew that it doesn't go down that deep. And I mean, there's some dips in here. You can see we're going up inclines and a little bit down. I didn't know how deep that thing was. I said, am I going into something that's like a foot deep? So I just turned around. I didn't do it. I do it now because I know better now. Yep. So how's our weather going to be coming up? I think it showed that we will be in the 60s, low 60s for the next coming days, for at least a week worth of that. We'll be in the 60s. So we're not going to get decent weather anymore. I think the 70s are a goner. It'll be a 60s at this point. Oh, this guy is giving me the chance to go. We say thank you and we take it. Okay, well, Prospect Heights Trail, better than nothing, I guess, huh? Better than nothing. Man, I really had hopes that we'd be able to go further. Not so lucky today. This past year, I didn't do any fishing either. I think this is the first time I didn't buy a fishing license in many, many years. Too tied up, too much stuff going on. We had review bikes to deal with. I'll tell you this, people said that, you're lucky to have all these bikes. Yeah, I know, I am. But it's kind of a curse too. I've spent the last few weeks just trying to prep the bikes, for the, this is all the repaired stuff, by the way. I can still see some bumps and stuff, but it's new blacktop, it seems, and new striping. But I had to spend the time to prep up these bikes. I think I would rather just ride where I wanted to ride rather than just do a 7 or 8 mile ride and then head back home again and swap out the bikes. And of course the weather wasn't that great, so we're kind of limited on when we can do it. And I couldn't ride until at least like 1 o'clock in the afternoon because it's too cold otherwise. So yeah, there's good points and bad points about it. I wonder what will happen for next year, quite frankly. I wonder if we'll be getting more bikes to review or whether we're done. It all really depends on who asks me. Because continually I get bike companies ask me. They do it now. I still get it. But some of these bike companies, I really don't want to review that bike. And I'll tell you one of the reasons why. And we discussed this on one of the videos too about potential fires. A lot of these bike companies that we've never heard of before, they're asking for help to review their bikes. They need people to see it so that maybe people will buy it. But they're not proven in the sense that I don't know what kind of batteries they're using in there. I don't know what their construction techniques are. I don't know whether even if it rides well. How do I know that battery's not going to blow up on me later? I have to be careful because I've got a lot of lithium ion in my home. I don't want to be taking on some bike that has unproven batteries or construction techniques that might have a problem for me down the road and have a problem for you too if you buy that bike. You see what I'm saying? This is why I've said if I don't see there's some merit to that bike, I don't want to review it. I don't even want to take it in. It's a danger to me and my family and my home. And it might not be something good for you either. So, yeah, we got to be careful of what we're willing to review and stuff. Thank you. So, yeah, I've rejected most of those bikes, or some of them I just don't even respond to. So if they send me things asking me to consider it, I don't even respond, because I know that some of them don't even look at the channel. They don't have any idea what kind of channel we are. I mean, my favorite ones are the ones that send me things asking for me to review products that have nothing to do with e-bikes. And they say, you know, we're really impressed with your channel, and you obviously do the things that we're looking for. It's not even an e-bike company. You pretty much know they have never looked at the channel before. Now, there was some products that I thought was really cool that I wouldn't mind taking on and checking out myself personally. It has nothing to do with the channel, but they have some things that are personally good, and I said, wow, I wouldn't mind checking that out, but it would make no sense for it to be on the Russ is Right channel. Now, here's one thing that I know some channels have done. They've started secondary channels specifically to do product reviews. And the reason I think they do that is because they too are getting a lot of solicitations asking for people to do a review of their products. And maybe they're interested in checking it out personally, but it has nothing to do with what their channel normally does. So they started up a second channel and they do product reviews on it. Now, the problem with this is, of course, the companies who give those products, they don't want to put it on a channel that has no viewers. And if you start a brand new channel, it's essentially no viewers. It takes a while for it to build. Now, if they're a huge channel, like if they have, let's say 100,000 subscribers or something. Whoops, sorry, I missed that stop sign. I was looking off to the side. If they have one of those, they could just simply tell their subscribers, hey, I'm starting a secondary channel. It's going to do product reviews. If you're interested, please subscribe to that channel. And they probably immediately get several thousand subscribers right away. Then they get their necessary 4,000 views. And then they become monetized, and then they're all excited, and they have another channel to do product reviews. Well, we're not that big yet. Can't do that. I could start a secondary channel, but I don't think all you guys would migrate over there. Unless you would. Unless you want to see me do product reviews of things that are not bike-related things. Hey, let me know if you want me to do that. If you're interested, put a comment about that. Then I could start a second channel. Then I could tell those companies, hey, I have a secondary channel that does product reviews of things that are not e-bike related. Would you mind me putting it on that? And some of them would still say yes. Then you would be able to see it. But our main focus on this channel is e-bikes. And sometimes we talk about knee replacement stuff because it started out as a knee replacement channel. You all know that. Yeah, the Russ is Right channel was a knee replacement channel for 2 years. I bought the e-bike to help rehab my knee, and the next thing you know, it became an e-bike channel. Which I'm glad for, because I was running out of things to talk about my knee. My knee is getting better, right? But the e-bike really has helped it a lot in bringing it back so that I can actually use it to help rehab my knee. Which is the reason I bought the bike in the first place. It didn't start out as an e-bike review channel, okay? It started out as a channel that helps my knee, rehab my knee. Alright, we're gonna have to take a left here. I'm hoping the guy behind us moves to the left. And he is, and I'm hoping the guy behind him moves to the left. And he is. Because we're moving over to the left. Now people are burning leaves. I can smell it. I recognize that leaf smell. And no, it's not marijuana either. Alright, one of you guys had a good comment. He said that he says it's well, I don't know how he put it. He put it something like in Illinois it's illegal to burn leaves, but it's okay to burn marijuana. That's true, actually. Yeah, they passed the marijuana laws here. What they're doing is they don't want you burning leaves in the street, because what people do is they rake the leaves to the street and they burn it, and then if your fire gets out of control, what happens then, right? So I see the reasoning behind why they don't want you burning leaves, but the whole marijuana thing just puts a whole new twist on it, doesn't it? You could burn marijuana, but you can't burn leaves. Okay, here's the thing with the marijuana stuff for those who want to know. You cannot just be smoking marijuana on the street. All right, I think you're only allowed to do that in your own homes for recreational use, as they call it. Yeah, I've never partaked in any of that stuff. I'm about as pure as they come. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't swear. I go to church. Yeah, and I worked in law enforcement. You know, I had my hands on more drugs than most drug dealers. I always laughed about that. Yeah, I mean, you got to fingerprint all that evidence and everything, and you know, you find evidence, you collect it, bring it back to the police department. I've always said that most police crime labs smell like marijuana. It does. It does. Not burning marijuana, I'm talking about in its natural state. That's because all the evidence get brought back. They got to book it into evidence, put it in the evidence locker. So yeah, it kind of smells up the place. Alright, this video is pretty long now as it is. I think you all know the drill getting back home. So, hey, anyways, I appreciate you guys watching the videos. We're going to continue on with more videos in the future. I don't know exactly when we will be able to go out more. We keep going out as much as we can, of course, until it gets too cold where I can't do it. I guys told you guys that I won't go out anything lower than 50 degrees. It's the wind that blows up against me that makes it colder than it is. You know, if you're just standing still, it's pretty warm out. Right now I feel a little bit of the chill because the wind is blowing against me. But you know, if you're not riding, yeah, it doesn't feel too bad out here right now. So yeah, keep watching. Chances are, if a video runs during this season, it'll be Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, if it runs at all, okay? The chances of me running a video on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Sunday, it'll be slim. So you're always good to at least check out Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays to see if a video has come out. I'll talk to you guys next time.